First off, bitch, I'm A to the genital. Send me automatic cause I'm sleeping with the demon dog. Finding something play, play hands on my baby up. Really, it don't matter what you better on my side, you know. Yeah, crumb face, broke face on my long legs. Superman states till my dick breaks. Shadow clones running on the blood legs. What you say? I take my blade, we can run away someday. Fucking just say, couldn't give a fuck less. All you fake bitches on my dick.
What's going on, everybody? The hut.
That is correct.
Goes Mark start!
Oh my goodness! Didn't see that coming! I'm diddly deep!
Yes, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Shot Talking. I'm your host at Jack Wilds. This is at Clegaines, the People's Champ, and we are ready to talk all things dapper. First off, on today's episode, we're going to break down a little bit of UFC. Then we're going to go deep into Clegaines' awesome art. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good voice. What do you think about that? I was kind of digging that. I think I could do that.
I wasn't looking at the camera, and I just thought I was with a different person for a second there. So good job.
See? Yeah, I think I could maybe roll with that. Everybody get toxic in the chat. What's going on? No cap. James Dillon Bond saying no cap. Don't know what that means. I mean, I'm hip. I know what no cap means, but is he saying he's saying I should take my cap off? Ripped by Hardy. Yeah. Sad about Christian, but that's okay, guys. Christian is a distant memory. It was nothing but a memory. But we do have everybody's favorite Discord buddy and homie and my true pal, Clegaines. Clegaines, how have you been, dude? How you been?
Busy, to say the least.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been all over the place lately. It's been tough.
You have. Now tell me, this is we were supposed to get back like on a pretty consistent schedule here when you got back from your 50th vacation. But then you had like a bunch of stuff to do with team captains. Things kept getting pushed. Are you like officially kind of done? Are you ready to be on that back end of like how rough? Like you were traveling a lot. Are you kind of at the end of that? Or are you about to tell me that you have like 4 more trips planned and
Nah, not for a bit. I mean, I'm gone this weekend, but I'll be back by Sunday afternoon, so it'll be fine.
Where are you going this weekend?
I'm going to Kentucky to visit my grandmother, actually. So yeah.
Oh, nice. What do you call your grandmother?
Babsha. She's my Ukrainian grandmother.
Oh, Babsha. I'm going to see some Babsha. Dude, at what part of Kentucky? Not to dox your grandma.
It's I think it's somewhere near Moorhead, Kentucky, and I remember that because it's funny sounding. I fly into usually like Cincinnati and then take a car and drive from there.
You'll actually be very close to me.
Oh shit, we should hang out.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, how long are you going to be there?
Literally Friday to Sunday. That's all I had.
I probably won't take time away from you and your babshka, but.
Well, listen, I could extend the trip. I mean,
next time you go see your babshka, we should just make a plan we could do some content together, and we can make a plan to meet each other there because it's really pretty close.
Yes, I wish I thought of that.
Toxic in that. Get toxic in that damn chat, okay? That's how you're gonna win. And why toxic? Because when everybody jumped on to do emergency streams, we did not. And I still think we got to talk a little bit about the toxic work environment / the AMA. I know it's kind of beating a dead horse at this part, but we haven't really given.
It's worth talking about. There's still so much to digest. I feel like, especially after a week of it being around.
And how much other stuff has actually really happened in between? Like nothing as big as that. That was a big week. That was kind of a big deal. They were getting hit quite a bit. We're also going to talk about the fact that the GOAT has returned and made, quite frankly, the heavyweight. Well, he wasn't quite the champ yet, but look really bad. The once heavyweight champ, Cyril Gane, looked super, super bad. And like he didn't know, like he belonged out there. And then on top of that, we're not just going to talk about the card. We're going to talk about the fact that the Champions Lounge is awesome. I didn't get to go, but I saw more pictures this time than I ever have. The amount of stuff that they're getting to do IRL at these events is incredible. Dude, I really think it's awesome. But I mean, you guys kind of have it with the captain's program, right? Because I saw Jeb Bush actually went and did the LA's captain's program for the first time and like got to go see a game with them. You just had a captain's meetup that I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the Atlanta one because you were there for a while. What do you want to start with today? You want to start with you want to knock out, you want to do some
UFC
stuff? Or you want to do UFC first? That's fine.
I feel like it's nice and easy and exciting stuff. So let's talk about that first.
Yeah. So I saw today on Twitter that, and I had been hit up before. I've been doing these videos for the challenges, and there's been a lot of challenges. Prices have been going up. Price go up, line go up in the UFC or in UFC Strike. again, we're still coming out of like a really bad era, right? I mean, a lot of people had some negative thoughts, but with the announcement of the new GM, Rob, and with the fact that a game is coming that's already on, honestly, has been being I didn't realize this. They had been working on it for a year before he became the GM. So
yeah, that was really
this
interesting.
is like a lot further along than I thought. I kind of felt like it was going to be longer and we were just getting something to tide us over. Well, we had a huge, crazy fight this weekend, and the Champions Club Lounge, I was in a Discord talking to people who were out there, and it seems like they just had a blast. They got to do meet and greets in the lounge. They went to the weigh-ins. There was like so much stuff that was happening and so much content coming out of that. It's kind of the perfect way to like interact with the UFC if you're a big fan. If you ever feel like you want to go to events, it just makes sense to get into UFC Strike at this point and get a champion on. I mean, they get tickets to every single fight pretty much. I mean, they're going to do a Champion Lounge London. So how many the Top Shot tour lasted four events, right? It was 4 total events, right?
4 stops.
How often do you think they'll do that? Do you think they'll do that maybe like twice a year? Like do a little run like that?
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see that happen again, especially with like some more cities. Like I was surprised we didn't see like a New York and LA, some of those other major cities, right? Like we had Portland, we had Toronto. Those made sense, right? Toronto being where Dapper Labs is primarily located, and then Portland is like, got a huge community fan base already. So I totally understood those. Paris made sense, right? Because of the NBA game. Miami was a little bit of a throw off for me, but it is a major city, right? So I guess they wanted somewhere warm compared to all 3 other of the cold stops. But I don't know. I mean, I heard a rumor that there was supposed to be more stops, but they had to cut them because of ongoing
because of the 20 extra percent layoff or whatever.
Yeah, who knows if that's true, right? But it makes sense because it lines up with the 2 rounds of layoffs that they've just had. So is it something that they could do every single year? I don't know. I guess it depends if they have the funds to do it, right? Hopefully Summer League is the next one, right? They've been there historically every single year so far. So I'd be kind of shocked if they didn't, but we haven't heard anything yet. So I know like the team captains, we've been reaching out and trying to say, hey, like, we want to plan stuff with our communities. Maybe we can give away some tickets or, travel vouchers, whatever. So we've been reaching out to the Dapper Labs team to try to get some more clarity on if and when that will happen, like what weekend it would be. But it is still a little bit of ways away. So, it's not surprising that they haven't come out with
what would be cool though is Summer League is Vegas, and it's also the exact same weekend. The start of Summer League is the exact same weekend as International Fight Week, where John Bones Jones will be fighting again, but this time fighting Stipe Miocic. And it's also where it's going to be a Conor McGregor weekend. So it will be a massive weekend in Vegas.
McGregor's back?
Yeah, he'll be fighting Michael Chandler. So it will be a legitimately massive weekend in Vegas that weekend, plus Summer League. And I've actually already talked to Brandon, and he's going to be there. I don't know if that means he's going to be there with Top Shot, but he will be there the first weekend. So I thought if we could at all make it work and have like a super cool, like we could do Summer League again. And then I could also be there for International Fight Week, make content on the lounge. There could be meetups at night. Like it will just be a massive fun weekend. So I'm really hoping that actually kind of works out.
planning to go myself personally, regardless if, Top Shot has a presence there or not, or Dapper Labs altogether. So, and I think a lot of people have the same mentality. Like I know a lot of people within the community do travel to Vegas or have traveled because of Dapper Labs being there. And I think they want to continue that. Like it's become like a nice little tradition.
It would just be nice if they were both, like if we got to go enjoy the Top Shot thing, and then at the same time, like, and then they were actually there. You can make it work without Top Shot themselves being there present, because everybody in the community does make that work. Like it's become like the de facto meetup in a lot of ways. It kind of has. I mean, Jeb and them go every year. It's kind of just become the spot to go if you want to try to meet some people like that. And NFT NYC a little bit was, but I don't think as much as like for direct Top Shot fans, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been missing, like, you know, that camaraderie with like hanging out with the community. And the team captains program does a little bit of that, but I think Summer League is like a way bigger and like more accessible venue for everyone to kind of come to and do something.
Right. Dude, there's something that I really, really wanted though. So like I opened up Twitter today and I saw that Rob had sent out like boxes to different content creators and just messaged out, you know, we just wanted to say we really appreciate the people who are making content around our things. Here's a token of our, and it's like a box full of swag, a box full of merch. He just messaged me I had no idea what I was getting, and it's not here yet. I was going to open it on stream, but I thought that is super solid because I feel like within the Dapper ecosystem, there's been a weird relationship between Dapper and their content creators, right? They're somewhat supportive, but at the same time, it's a bit of a give and take. It's a bit of a, you know, like it's a bit of a pull sometimes to try to, you know, feel like you're doing something that's actually worth it for them. I couldn't be more stoked to just be like, have somebody hit me up and be like, hey, I like what you're doing. Here you go. Like we appreciate you. So that made me feel pretty good.
It's a great feeling.
Get some cool strike swag, but
do you have it like next to you? Like, can you show us?
No, I was saying I was going to open the box. I was hoping it would get here before the stream.
It's not here yet.
I saw somebody else. I saw another creator open theirs, and I was like, oh damn, they sent like a bunch of stuff. Like it's not just like here's a t-shirt, you know, like they sent like a box. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, with UFC, it's been what is this report? Yeah. It's just like media and sports. They don't like people reporting bad news. That's probably true. It's very true. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about plenty of bad news with Top Shot, but I want to wrap up a little bit. If you don't know, we just wrapped on, let me roll Toxic real quick. All right. Talk real quick. Get Toxic in the chat. We just wrapped up on a couple of different challenges for UFC. They're doing pretty well, dude. Some of these challenges are not costing that much to do, and the moment's running around, you know, $50. And that's just been adding money to people's pockets if they're still in the UFC Strike ecosystem. We're not quite sure yet how all these moments are going to work with the game, but if you're just a collector, that still works. The Stipe Miocic challenge just ended. What they did, they made a couple of changes. So if you want to get back in and just start doing some challenges, they're trying to make challenges a little easier for people who are trying to come back now that the game's here, now that they see things are rolling again. They don't want it to be super, super hard. So they're trying to make these like hybrid challenges where it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to get in while still like pleasing the people who have been around. Then they're also like doing them every week. And damn, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Well, anyways, if you want to get back in, you can actually go pretty easily, and maybe, you know, make some money off of these challenges because there's not a whole lot of people doing it. But I've lost my train of thought. Let's just talk about Top Shot. Let's move on. I'm going to roll this Toxic thing real quick.
All right, yeah, I was tweeting out because I forgot to tweet. So
MTG House got it.
He won last time. He's
always winning. I mean, to be completely honest, there was only 4 people eligible, so I'm tempted to just give the 4 people who are here the prize. MTG House, congratulations, my brother. Dude, I've been playing this game. I've been doing a bunch of these like videos and stuff, but I've been playing this game and working on starting a new channel for. Have you guys ever played Marvel Snap? I think I've
no, you mentioned it to me though. Actually,
it's really good. It's really good game. Super, super good. Super kind of addicting strategy game. If you guys want a fun phone game, check out Marvel Snap. I never thought I would ever say that. I hate phone games usually. Let's get in. Let's break down your article. Let's talk about, because okay, if you guys don't know, Gaines put out a really awesome article today. Or was it today or was it yesterday?
It was last night, technically.
Last night.
Yeah.
So Clegane is getting his Medium article on. Do you want to bring it up for us?
Yeah, sure. I wanted to kind of like not just read through it. I want to just bring up some points.
Oh, you
and
don't
like
have
kind
to
of
read through. Yeah, I just
elaborate a little bit more on what I was talking about, or because I couldn't write too much. It was already 10-minute read. Let me see. Share screen. Window. Here we go. I think I've got that. Doesn't need to be larger.
Yeah, widen that load, thick that baby up. There we go.
Okay, how's that? Is that good?
Is good.
All right. Yeah. So first of all, I wanted to point out this picture. I used AI image generator to make this. Dolly, for those of you that have heard of it. If you look right here, like I added a little top shot thing in this guy's VR goggles. I just thought it looked cool, so something to put on. Yeah, but let's get into it. So obviously, as you guys know, there's been a ton of controversy surrounding Dapper Labs. We've had the court case happening, right? The lawsuit. Try to get dismissed. That didn't happen. We've had another round of layoffs, so another 20% of layoffs. And then an article that came out like that was just kind of blasting the company, talking about how, Roham is a horrible CEO. It's a toxic work environment. He's spending all of Dapper's money on his personal expenses. Like it was some pretty heavy stuff. And there weren't any direct quotes from current or former employees, but it was, obvious that there was, some type of discussion with disgruntled former employees. Who those are, we don't know. We have our own guesses as who they could be, but let's just dive into the facts.
We kind of know some.
We assume, right? We assume there's some big people that were let go that probably didn't have nice things to say. But yeah, on Friday, Roham had an AMA planned, and that was planned before this article came out, right? So I don't know if there was a plan to do it as like a live, face-to-face or like Twitter Spaces, or what the plan was initially, like whether it was going to be a Spaces within Discord. After the article came out, he decided it was going to be text-based only. So when Mike Carrion tried to live stream it, it was in the VIP or the VIPs were able to ask questions. I don't know exactly how it worked, but yeah, he did touch on the article right off the bat. When accused of using his company funds, he said, "Let's clear the air. My personal expenses are personal. The mansion they showed was my friend's home. I was staying at for free."
Hey, don't waste my friends, guys.
Which is kind of crazy. He just got a friend with a mansion.
Oh, it's free, dude. You think that's crazy that he has a friend with a mansion?
Nah, it's not that crazy. Actually, that makes sense.
Diplo's getting on his yacht. Yes, he's got a friend with a mansion.
And Diplo showed up as a personal expense. Yeah, Diplo thing was a personal expense celebrating a friend who was honored at the film festival. So he does address that directly, saying none of his personal spending is, coming out of Dapper's pocket. But of course, right now we're just kind of taking his word for it. Questions surrounding company culture. So culture points are very important. To be clear, buck stops with me as CEO. We grew way too fast, didn't build the right foundations in terms of hiring, onboarding, performance manager, blah, blah, blah. We need a high-performance, impact-driven, data-centric culture to succeed. I'm confident we have the right people around the table now to fix it. So that doesn't really address directly, some of the things that were in the article about like how, poor of a work environment it was. But I think that's like on purpose, right? I wouldn't expect him to kind of just blatantly come out and like talk to us in a Discord channel, like directly addressing that article. Will something come out down the line? I don't know. Like, will there be an official statement? I guess we'll have to wait and see, because that was really like the only things he touched on as far as that article is concerned.
There's not going to be an official statement. What?
I don't know. You never know.
Are you talking about his about the way he treats his or the way it's been allegedly treats his employees? Or
I don't think it said him specifically. It just said that there was a culture where like people were kind of aired out publicly, like whether you're assuming that's like Zoom meetings or something, someone's getting yelled at. They didn't say it was Roham specifically who was yelling at people. They just you're assuming it's like kind of upper management, who knows though, right? Because there was no person that was named in this article that said that this is so and so who came forward. It was so and so who said these words. Roham was just more accused of like living a lavish lifestyle and spending Dapper's corporate funds on his own personal expenses, which is the one thing that he did like directly address when he started the AMA. And that was like one of the first things he addressed like right off the bat.
Let's be real, CEOs do that.
Yeah, I mean
I don't know, to me that was like, oh, we didn't know that he was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, you got yelled at in a meeting? Like, well, again, we don't know what happens.
Like, CEOs spend money. Like they have a lot of it, and they don't, especially in this Web3 space, they act like it may never leave, and it probably won't for him. He's at a point in his life financially, I'm sure, that he's never going to zero. He's never going broke. You know what I mean? There's always something around the corner or something else. Even if Dapper fails, there'll be another project. Yeah. However, I didn't really think that was that crazy. It does suck though. I'm not siding with him. Don't think that. It sucks though when you see things happening like that, and especially if it's like, if it's off the company's dime. Yeah. There's 2 rounds of layoffs, 20% staff decrease, and the staff is getting blamed for everything going wrong, where there's somebody at the captaining the ship maybe in a direction that doesn't make sense or is very difficult to understand what they're trying to get out of it. So I don't know, it's kind of a crazy thing, dude.
It's tough. And right, like I don't think anyone's saying like anything in the article wasn't necessarily true, right? Like there has to be some semblance of truth to it for it to come out, you would think, right? Like someone people came out and talked to whoever wrote the article and had things to say. It's shitty to hear, especially us like who are collectors and who want to support the product, love the product. We've also seen a lot of people just resign. We saw Dave Feldman, he just resigned on his own.
That's kind of a big hit.
That was a big hit. Meg, who used to do all the, IRL event planning, who I've met multiple times, like going to, all the tour events and stuff like that. She chose to resign as well. And AJ Curry as well from the NFL All Day team, also gone. So it's like 3 pretty big names, like people, that we're accustomed to talking to on a regular basis, or at least hearing from on a regular basis. To see them go is pretty sad. But does that mean that things are, going to be all gloom and doom going forward? Not necessarily, right? Like people leave companies all the time. Like it's not entirely surprising. I think it's just like the amount of negative publicity that has happened in such a short time span has been really the most shocking thing.
Kyle brings up a good point. People do get forced to resign. That people do get pushed out in certain ways, in weird ways. Especially because, you fire people, then you've got other issues on your hand. But I don't know. I feel like the way it sounds like, it does feel like forced to resign wouldn't be like, some meeting. It's more like they're forced to resign by just being in a position where they feel super unappreciated, uncomfortable with, or not heard. It feels like a lot of people were feeling not heard. And when you feel unheard, and then the blame still comes down on you, you're like, okay, well then what is the point of my job?
Yeah. Plus, I think like just maybe people being overworked, right? Like this isn't a traditional 9 to 5, like JC Wolf's pointing out. People are working potentially 12, 15 hours a day, around the clock, dealing with problems, things coming up, blogs needing to be posted, announcements having to be made. Fires needing to be put out at all hours of the day, right? This is a 24/7 operation. And it doesn't seem like they have a team that's around at all times of the day. Like maybe some of the community mods, but like they only have so many developers and engineers and people on the back end.
Bro, have you guys seen Mythic Quest? W or Y? Just put a Y in the chat if you've seen Mythic Quest. And if not, I'm going to tell you right now to go and watch it. It's on Apple TV. It's by the same people who did It's Always Sunny. But here's why I want you to watch it, because it's based around a video game. They're a giant video game company. Essentially, they're Blizzard, right? That's what they're pretending to be. Really wild and out there CEO, but they have a community manager or like community rep who stays in the basement. Her name's Carol. She's like the nicest person in the world or whatever. I think it's Carol, but she's like the nicest person in the world. But her interaction, every time they talk to her about the community and she freaks out about a decision they're going to make, I think, oh my God, this is what it's like to work at Dapper. This is what it's like to be anybody at a Discord, like in the Discord servers at Dapper. That has got to be one of the hardest jobs. I mean, to be completely honest, you have to be such a certain type of person to sit there and take the beating that
you got to be hard-headed for sure,
dude. You have to be so patient. Like,
yeah,
you take a beating. I watched on the UFC strike drop. We just had our first pack drop in forever. They had to delay it a day. Then during the drop, people were checking out and it wasn't showing up in their accounts or in their things right away. It didn't show up in mine right away. They started getting
mass hysteria probably.
Yeah, dude. And it was like they still got them, but they just weren't there instantly. And there was like people like, oh, dude, 6 months without a, first of all, it hasn't been 6 months, 6 months without a drop, and your product is still shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just like, okay, come on, guys. Like, this is ridiculous.
You know what the funniest thing is, though, is I think about this all the time. That's every company. Like, you go, a concert for Taylor Swift is dropping on Ticketmaster. It's botted. They sell out instantly, and then prices are, insane, resale value-wise. And, like, it's the same shit at any other Web 2, Web 3 company, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
that's a good point.
There's a mint happening on, for whatever project. That's super.
That's an interesting. Yeah,
I talk about the ticket thing all the time. Like concert tickets, like are botted. They're constantly selling out. There's like super long wait lines or queues. Like this is not new to most people, but I think that like Web3 projects are held up to a higher standard sometimes, especially Dapper Labs because they work with the NBA. But like these are completely normal things to run into, like in a lot of cases. And like for people like being impatient to wait, however many minutes for their pack to appear in their account, like that's just normal human behavior, as sad as that is to say. Like people are fucking impatient and they are crazy when they're able to just say whatever the fuck they want behind like the wall of their screen, like, but whether that's their phone, their computer, like the confidence that people get of things that they think they could say because they're not like facing the person directly. It's unreal. I mean, I used to work in communications and PR and like deal with social media, phone calls, emails, like all that. And like some of the things these people would be saying to, my reps on the phone, I'd be like, I would take over the call and be like, who are you talking to? Like, this is a human being on the other end of this phone call. Like, this person has done nothing to you personally. Like, calm the fuck down and like take a breath and like let's talk about this like adults. But people don't act like adults all the time. I mean, they're, especially when money's involved. Like it
sucks sad. Because everyone feels very entitled because they are putting their money on the line. And I totally understand that, but there's also this weird difference between in being entitled and then being like a productive member of the community you can. I never would say don't complain or don't try to bring. Yeah, I'm all about getting like justice and making sure people.
There's a way to do it.
Justice is not the right word. I'm trying to think of but yes, there's a way to give criticism, constructive criticism, or necessary feedback to improve a product. But there's also people who just assume everything. Like I don't know. I don't feel like anybody in here is like that. I've never, I don't think there are plenty of people like that in the community, but it doesn't feel like they are super active. It's more like they come in, they are owed everything, and then they don't even interact with it like on a they just come in to complain almost because they're like, oh, I thought this was going to be this easy. Like I thought anytime I bought something, it's your fault if it didn't go up in value.
Yeah, most people, I mean, there's people in like the Collectors Club Discord and also like the Dapper Labs one. People will complain, but like I think it's just like the way people, like if you're like attacking an employee that is just like on the communication side of things, they had nothing to do with decisions being made on the back end, right? Like they're just there to speak to you. if you're attacking people like that, like you just don't deserve to be like around or involved in anything. Like it's just you're a horrible human being at the end of the day. Like for you to attack someone who has made no decision that's impacting you directly or personally.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents on that. I think most people
agree.
Yeah. But let's talk about something
Hold
positive.
All right, wait. First, though, I want to share this. Let me share this real quick while we're on it.
Okay.
Let's see if you can hear.
What are you sharing? A video?
Yeah.
Do you need me to stop sharing?
No, I got it. You're good. I'm going to bring yours up right after this. Okay. Good. Because you're not going to go watch the whole season or anything. Can you guys hear this?
What do you do here?
Mhm.
Manager. Yes, Sue has a very interesting job. She interacts with our players online to find out the things that they like and don't like about Mythic Quest.
And darn if they don't like a lot of things.
Sometimes I wonder why they play.
What's a typical day like for you?
How do I put this? Okay, girls, you know how when you just get so mad and frustrated that you just want to scream into a pillow, when you're mad at your mom? Well, I guess you could say for our player community, I'm kind of like your mom. And the pillow.
I just.
That's so depressing.
No. Yeah, I want to do what you do. No.
I like want to use this clip and like post this. Like this is like a perfect example of what it's probably like to be a Discord
It's
community.
exact. I couldn't have. I mean, it's every community though, dude. It's every community. Like the gaming communities are going to be exactly the same. It's just being a community rep is God. If that's not probably one of the hardest jobs.
Yeah, easily.
Because you might even agree with everything the community's saying, but you can't do you can't do anything but what the company is kind of feeding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're just the one that answers the complaints, and
you're just the one who's getting constantly slapped in the face, and it's oh God, that's rough.
Send me that link.
All right,
I want to watch that later.
It's also a really good show.
I'll watch the show. I'll add it. I'm watching so much stuff right now, but I'll be done eventually. That's funny. Really quickly, we didn't get to talk about it, but yes, I was in Atlanta with the Atlanta team captain. We kind of did a little collab. I gave away a bunch of tickets to the game on Sunday, and then on the Saturday prior, they had done a court renovation. Dominique Wilkins was the athlete that got to come. Biggest takeaway from that is that Dominique Wilkins was an awesome human being, just super chill, laid back, like signed a bunch of stuff, took pictures with kids and people. Like he signed a jersey for me. I actually have it right here. He signed it on the one. If you can see that. I'm going to get this one framed as well. But yeah, and then he hung out. Like we had him, I think, for scheduled for an hour. And he just stayed for like an extra 45 minutes. Like he was just talking basketball with us. Like he was talking about back when he used to play, going up against guys like Magic and Shaq, Larry Bird.
When I used to play.
He's not that old. But like he was talking about Larry and like how good Larry was. He was talking about how he was also comparing it to like the NBA today, and talking about Luka and Giannis and all those. He was also like big fan of LeBron, like just like saying like, you can't really like take away what LeBron has done. Like, being able to stay like, without a serious injury over all these years and, breaking the all-time scoring record recently. So it was just really cool, fun, like genuine conversation to have with him. And then we all went to the game on Sunday, had a great time. And then I flew home on Monday, but really cool event.
How many people were there?
There was a lot. So like we worked with the community, like people that like, live in the area, and like to get the park renovated, they were reps, and so they came. They also put out like their own email blasts and stuff like that saying, hey, like we renovated the park. The grand opening's on this day. We're going to have someone from the NBA come, to be there for the unveiling. It wasn't until like a couple days before we were allowed to like say who it was. But yeah, we had like a ton of families, kids, of course, who didn't know who he was, but like wanted to take pictures. This kid in the Boston jersey, his dad is a Hawks fan. And he brought Dominique Wilkins like basketball card to get signed for his dad, who wasn't able to make it to the event.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was a really cool time. Like, and it was just fun. We got food catered, a bunch of stickers, t-shirts we gave out, basketballs, whole big thing. Really a lot of fun. And like I think that was probably my most fun event, I think, being a team captain so far. Just like combining funds so that we can do this big thing together. I want to do a little bit more of that, especially with, like the Knicks captains, Boston, Philly.
The Hawks
people in my
captain
area.
was really good too. Like about
Yeah,
that. I
great
feel
guy.
like they've done a lot of things similar with you. There's a few captains that, but maybe it's just because I hear about them more. Which we're talking about doing a little bit more, highlighting the captains and doing a captain's log segment, like we were talking. We've mentioned before. I think it's important to show off and have the captains get on stream, get on videos, whatever. If we have to edit them down, if we don't get enough views, whatever. Like we'll find a way to blast them out and make sure people know what's going on in the captain's program, because it is the coolest. It's the coolest thing it does.
And I think it's kind of like, some people give it criticism because, like I don't live in the area and I can't make it to games, even if I win tickets. And like, I totally understand that. The budget.
That is, but how else are you how do you even fix that? I don't know.
It's tough. Like we they participate in moment giveaways, merch stuff that we send to them directly, things like that. League pass if you didn't get it from Top Shot.
I don't live in Vegas, but yet I still think the Champions Club is awesome. I want to go to. I have to go out there if I'm going to do it.
Again, there's two sides of every coin, right? You're one of those people where it's like, this is good for the overall health of the platform, and there's other people who are like, oh, woe is me, I can't participate, so like burn it all down. You know what I mean? Like there's always two sides to everything.
MTG hit a game in February because of the captains. That's awesome, dude. And you get another one next month. I mean, that's awesome. See, to me, that's cool. That is some utility. That's actual utility. And
that's all I do is send people to games now. Like it's just so easy.
It's being done by somebody who doesn't even get paid, but it's so cool that they do that. I mean, like
it's nice to be able to go to some stuff. Like we're not being paid, but like. And I don't go to every game.
You get benefits out of it. Yeah. Like
I went to go to Atlanta and do this thing, right? Like that was fun. But like as far as going to games, like I don't buy myself tickets. Like I just give them out. But if we do like, the suite, of course, I will be there because I'm hosting it and, I'm the one preparing everything, bringing merch and all that. But as far as like going to games, like, every other week or however often I do it, I just buy row of tickets. Some I get like, maybe I'll get like two closer, as like a kind of like a special for like someone gets like the really closer seats and everyone gets like just a larger block, and trying to mix up like that. It's been easier now that KD and Kyrie have been traded away from the Nets. I will say ticket prices have gone down a little bit. They're still expensive, but they have become a little bit better. So that's helped the budget a bit, as sad as it is to see them go.
Bro, MTG House, that was your first game too. That's super awesome. You and your buddy. That's really, really cool. I gotta bring my family of 4 to a 76ers game thanks to the cap. Dude, yes, this is awesome. Like, this is the type of stuff
I brought this guy. This guy was from Wales, and I sent him to a game. It was his first time ever being in New York, first ever NBA game. He's from Wales, and he's like, hey, my family is coming. There's 4 of us. Like, is there anything you could do? I hooked him up. Made sure he was able to get there.
That's super rad. King Lion, get you some tickets. Clegane, who's the 76ers captain?
Oh, why is his name? I know it.
Hit up Willis in the DMs or hit up.
Yeah, go in the Top Shot Discord.
Go find the thing. I bet there's a way to get him. I bet maybe Cleganes can sweet talk him. I don't know.
I can find him I'll find him in the team captain's Discord.
Also make sure you have milk because I'm about to roll it again, boys. Yeah, man. So even with all the shit that happens, even with all the crap, there's still cool stuff. And you know what the cool stuff usually is?
Yes,
it's usually the community. It's usually the people working around it. The company might suck. The nuts and bolts of the company might kind of suck. Like the CEO might be a person that you're like, well, you're kind of being shitty by flying private while you're firing people. But it is what it is, and people are going to do that. The community is still here and making it awesome, and as long as they're a part of it. The problem is once a community dies, the product really is going to be over. Like, I've seen a lot of things that I was part of the community before, and when the community stops thriving, stuff goes downhill quickly. But everybody seems to be holding it out. I mean, it doesn't seem like we've lost a ton of huge people, right? I mean, there's quite a few people who switched to So Rare and stuff.
Yeah, but even now, So Rare is getting heat. Like, oh, like I saw some tweets like we haven't seen any updates. Things are declining. Like it sounds like Top Shot all over again. To be honest, like people are like, oh, like this is the greatest thing ever, and then they realize like it's not up only forever, right? Like eventually things have to level out and stabilize. And now the So Rare community, I feel like, is seeing some of that. And again, there's nothing wrong with So Rare. Like I think it's a cool, fun product. It's another way to have fun and be involved in the NBA with like the fantasy aspect. But also, like, so many people in the beginning were pitting the two projects against each other, and it's like it just didn't make sense. They're two different things. Like they're separate from each other. They can coexist, with peacefully. But yeah, now I have seen some like So Rare stuff coming out. People, oh, what are they doing? They're not changing this or blah blah blah. The whole.
Oh, of course, there's going to be like again, there'll be a community, and then the community will get pissed. But as long as they stick by their side, it'll be fine. They'll get angry, dude. When the freaking UFC game, if the hardcourt came out too, we are going to have a steady stream of like I will be playing the UFC game, doing videos, doing strategy breakdowns, doing guides. If there was a hardcourt game, something like that, we would have that on our channel. I think the gaming aspect is just. God, is so important, right?
Yeah, so that's why UFC Strike's really exciting for that reason. So I'm going to be.
I think it's going to get people back. Like there's no way you're not going to do it because it's going to be free to mint your first fighter. Like, why would you not just mint your first fighter and then see if you like the game, and then you can figure out if you want to go from there. And there's plenty of moments that $2 moments you can buy probably to soak into your fighter and give them more stats and. Okay, King Lion, what's up? What's going on? So how do we connect with the captain? Just hit up, like
you can do it on the Discord. So you have to join. Let me send a link to the Top Shot Discord. Give me 1 second.
But thanks for being here. Yeah. I appreciate that.
And so you have to have a set, either series 1, 2, or 3, a full team set of if in your case it's the 76ers, right? So there's a tracker on the Top Shot website that shows you which moments you're missing. Once you get those and you're in the Top Shot Discord, you'll be able to connect with the team captain and other people that are 76ers fans in a closed channel and enter to win tickets however they do. Some captains do it differently. Some kind of do like a random role generator, right? Some people make you fill out a form. I've done a mix of both, personally. Kind of just at the captain's discretion.
We also have, Click Games has got some pretty big sway with the captains. So just keep coming back to this stream and to the Shot Talking channel, and make sure you like and subscribe.
How about
First of all, everybody hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah,
if you're on Twitter too, DM me on Twitter because that way I'll have it in my DMs or on Discord if you have me on Discord. That way I'll have your DM and I'll give your info directly to the 76ers team captain.
There we go. All right. I hope we got you straightened out there, and I hope you get some tickets, man. Or not, man. I don't know. You're King Lion. I assume that's a man.
I wanted to talk about this really quick. So in the article, I kind of talked about, there's good stuff happening. Obviously the team captain program has been a big hit for a lot of people, but we've seen a decline in the monthly budget as well as the layoffs, right? So obviously there's been an issue with revenue. Packs aren't selling out the same way they used to. Prices on the marketplace aren't nearly as high. That 5% fee only goes so far compared to the early days of Top Shot. So what other revenue streams can Dapper Labs kind of put together to not only rely on pack drops, not have to continue just minting millions of moments, right? Because if they just continue to do that, this is a vicious cycle and eventually it'll all go to zero unless they somehow get new users. But let's talk about that. So I put a few ideas, rebates or credit back. So we actually just saw this with the latest MGLE drop. So depending on your Top Shot score, you got a certain, dollar amount back based on the number of packs you bought. So like for me, I was in the range where the packs were $69 retail. I got $20 back per pack. I only bought 2, so I spent $49 per pack, and I got a $40 Dapper credit, which was really nice. Like, it really
Yeah.
is. I was thinking about holding off on buying the packs and just getting, my Cam Thomas moment, right? That's really the one I wanted from the drop. I was like, I'll just buy it on the marketplace. But then they did the credit back, and I was like, oh, now I kind of want to buy the pack and roll the dice. So made sense for me. Something else, digitally autographed moments. We've seen that once before, right, with the Magic Johnson anthology set, but that's the only time we've seen that since. And to me, it just feels like one extra layer of something that shouldn't have a high cost basis when you really think about it, right? Like getting the athlete to sign a tablet one time and then reusing that signature for some moments, whether it be rares, whether it be a one-on-one insert into a pack or something like that, right? They can get really creative with it. It's just something I'm surprised we haven't seen a little bit more
what they cost to license, but see, they have to license the signature, right?
I don't
It's
know.
not just a single. It's not like, oh, all you have to do is sign it one. It's like they have to.
No, they have to pay them.
They
Yeah.
still have to license that signature out, and I just wonder, like, I don't know what it maybe that is pretty expensive. Like I'm,
But I think you can do it with certain
it would be
players, right?
sick, though.
I don't expect every single player on the platform to have a signed moment, right? But I think you could experiment with like even some, lower tier, maybe some rookies, right, that aren't going to be insanely expensive to do some collaborations with. Retired players as well, like they're cheaper generally as far as like booking things with them. I'm just surprised we haven't seen it more than Magic Johnson.
I like this idea though, because I will say this, just to talk about Marvel Snap real quick for a second. Over the holidays, when I first signed up, they did a similar thing that what you're talking about. For the holidays, they sent everybody a gift. If you had logged in that day on New Year's Day, you could open up a free card, and the card was a Nick Fury, and they got Samuel L. Jackson to sign it. So everybody got a signed variant that you could only open on the one day that has the signature, like gold signature across it, which was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. And the same thing kind of came to my mind. That would be kind of cool to have inserts like that in Top Shot or start getting some new things to these moments, Yeah,
just inserts, really. That's like kind of where these ideas are going. So like another insert would be like, NBA jersey redemptions for number 1 or jersey serials, right? And this is not a new idea. We've talked about this on the show before, but like how cool would it be if you pull a jersey serial and then also, have the option to redeem a jersey from that player. One of the things I talk about and elaborate on with that is like, maybe if it's a legendary moment and you pull a jersey serial, you can get a signed or an autographed jersey from that player. And when you really think about it, like, yes, there is a cost basis that Dapper Labs would have to, face to do that. But there's only, one number 1 per moment and 1 jersey serial per moment. You could maybe limit it to rare legendaries, right? Because that will bring your cost down. Because if you do it for commons, obviously, right, that maybe get out of hand. But I think it's just one more cool incentive. Game tickets and League Pass as well, right? We saw them do challenges to earn a League Pass subscription, which is really great. But I think it'd also be kind of cool if, like, all right, let's say there's 10,000, 20,000 packs, 2% of them. Hey, you also, in addition to these 4 moments, you're one of the lucky people that gets to, get a League Pass subscription, or you have tickets to a game near you, like in your area. And if you can't do it, like for, being, not able to make it to the game, maybe you get some kind of, other prize, that's set aside. Maybe it's a credit or something. But I just think that Dapper Labs is struggling to sell packs as frequently or, sell them out as fast as before. And I think these are just some levers that they could pull and test out to generate some more excitement.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I like that idea a lot.
And then the one-on-one or ultra scarce moments. Again, we saw NFL All Day, bring that to life this past series. I think it's mostly had a good effect as far as like selling packs and getting people to want to roll the dice. As far as its effect on the marketplace and like the value of other moments, you could argue that it brings the value of some legendaries down, depending on who the players are. So I think like with something like that, you really need to be like extra cautious, and has like potentially hesitant about doing that. But I don't see why. It would definitely help sell packs, right? I mean, everyone wanted the LeBron record-breaking moment when there was like 80 of them in all those like locker packs. You know, those sold out super quick. So as far as like generating revenue and selling packs, like I don't see why that wouldn't work. Yeah. Anything else on your end on that? I
No.
kind of want to skip around.
I
Oh,
did
this is
get DM, so I'm locked in. We're gonna have a interview with Rob, the GM of UFC Strike, on Friday at noon. So I will have that
Ooh.
video by the start of next week, which
Let's
is cool.
go.
We're gonna talk
That's
a lot
awesome.
about the game, and we're gonna talk about the future of what he's got going on, and talk a little bit more about the Champ Club. So if you're into Strike, I think this is gonna be his first. I don't think he's done to anybody. I think we're going to be the first people to get him. So, yeah. All right.
Good job. Good job. Let me see. Top Shot merch. This is something we've talked about before, right? But like, why haven't we seen any yet? I mean, we have.
Yeah, that's really
have
true. I
merch.
mean,
So they can't. They either can't or they won't sell it yet. But right, like this exists, and this is it's got Top Shot's logo on it.
it is
They gave
kind of
this.
weird. It's more like they just holding it to give away, or they just because they do give out some merch, right?
Well, yeah, so they give away merch. They give it away at every like IRL event. Like there's always like t-shirts or something to grab, hats, whatever. They
just
sent a
whatever
care
merch
package.
swag. Every event has to do it.
They sent a care package to every single team captain to like I have hundreds of shirts to give out like whenever I.
Oh yeah,
host
you're
events.
supposed to send me one, you bastard.
Yeah, I got you. I have a
Forgot about
list of people I need to send things to.
Yeah, just like the magnets and those cards to D Squared, they're never going out. Actually, I heard D Squared was going through something rough, and I found the package, and I still want to send it to him, even though he doesn't even come to our chats anymore. But I don't care. I just
You need to send them.
I want to surprise him. It'll be over a year, and he'll just be like, "What? This is? I cannot believe you still sent this."
That's so funny. Yeah, so Roham has mentioned we haven't done merch yet because we want to do it properly. Again, this is from almost 2 years ago, so keep that in mind. Dapper Lab shouldn't just do startup t-shirts. We should have or partner with a fashion house. That way we can do things that are NFT gated, so doing a cosmic gear. So this was 2 years ago. I like that idea, right? I like the idea of partnering with like a major fashion brand or like not having cheap t-shirts. But at the same time, why not have cheap t-shirts just to give out like at NBA arenas? Like, I don't know the last time you went to a game, but every single game I've gone to, they hand out t-shirts, with like
it's
Ben
just
Simmons face on it or something.
Yeah.
Like, like just get a cheap t-shirt.
bags.
Get it. A drawstring bag, something, that
Or it's
has
just,
NBA Top Shot.
Any event you do, that's the easiest promotion. Just print something on some husky tees and throw them out, and when people get free stuff, they tend to come back to that place and want more. So it doesn't make sense whether. So how are you suggesting that we pay, like they sell it, or that
I do want to see them sell it eventually. Like, I think they could sell it. I think they could also use it for like
they sell it? I think
leaderboards.
it's got to be higher quality. Like, there's got to be some nice stuff.
It's got to be higher quality, 100%. Like, if you're going to sell it, it would need to be.
So here's the thing. I wonder if they can't do it to sell it because it's a whole nother rights they have to get from the NBA.
That's
what I mean?
Likely the thing. Like, so he says, merch has been delayed because of crazy rabbit holes around approvals and complexities. But we'll break through. And this is in January.
He says it right there.
So this is recent. I'm assuming there's more red tape on the NBA side. But again, like Dapper Labs, right? That's their own brand, Dapper Labs specifically. Top Shot, I don't know the legalities around that. Like, are they able
It's
to
called NBA Top Shot.
Theirs? Yeah. Yes, but like, is there like a loophole around saying just Top Shot? Like, I don't know.
I wonder.
Using the set art. Like, the set art is like designed by their team. Like, what are they allowed to do with that or not? Like, these are questions we don't know. Obviously, as I'm saying, there's like more complexities. But again, like, it's been over 2.5 years that merch has been discussed and nothing's really come to fruition yet, besides the free stuff that they decide to give out. I truly think that, like, if they are going to give some free stuff away, though, get some cheaper stuff, partner with the teams around the league, and give it away when fans walk into the stadium, because that is the demographic that you are looking to get onto the site. Like, what better people to give away free shit to than NBA fans going to games in person, right? They're going to look at the shirt.
True.
They're going to be, oh, like NBA Top Shot. Like, what's that? Like, mate, like, I don't know what rate or turnover rate you'll get, but like, I'm sure people will Google search at the very least, like, what NBA Top Shot is after getting a free t-shirt at a game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think that could be pretty impactful.
I agree with you there. I think it's funny that we get, because, dude, the yacht meme is just going to be funny forever because he's busy on his yacht. Yeah, we're not getting any damn.
I'm still waiting for my turn on it.
Jeez, sheesh,
Yeah.
Louise. You know what I'm saying?
Something I said here. I was like, I've acquired more random clothing by attending sporting events than I know what to do with, but I'll still happily accept new ones whenever given the opportunity. And that is so true. Like, I have t-shirts with Ben Simmons' face on it, and like Seth Curry, like it's like a cartoon drawing of him, like that they just hand out when you walk into the stadium. Like,
Right.
I take them every single time. You know what I mean? Like, my girlfriend uses them
Yeah.
to like sleep in. You know, like
Or you-
it's.
Wear them at the gym.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't see why they haven't. Like, if
Play
they're
ball.
allowed to give it away for free, I don't see why that can't be a potential option. And like, maybe they have to pay the team, but I still think like that's a cost, you know, a marketing cost that would make sense, right? Because that's your direct line of the pipeline of people you want to onboard onto the platform.
Right.
But
What's
I don't know.
cool is like eventually too, those shirts come back around, like as a, you know what I mean? Like, they might not be that cool right now, but then they're one day they're very, very cool. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? Is that like like in 2 years you'll be like, oh, sick! This shirt I got at this game is actually now
Yeah.
cool.
like I love this shirt. Or love's a strong word, but
I'm gonna roll that giveaway real quick while we continue to talk about this one.
yeah.
Rolling King Lion. What do you know? King Lion.
Let's go.
There you go, brother.
Hey, Glenn, make sure you DM at least one of us so we can get you hooked up with that Philly captain.
Let me get
You have to be on
hooked up.
Twitter or Discord. I know you're around there somewhere. You had to find it. I don't know where you found us, but it's got to be one of those options. Let me see if he's in the collective Discord. Can't find it.
Let's
But yeah,
go, King Lion.
that was pretty much like the majority or the bulk of, you know, the article. Just ideas, things, levers they could pull, ways to generate more excitement around pack drops, ways to earn some more revenue. There's plenty of more ideas that, you know, I've heard other people have said that I could have added in here, but I needed to just keep out, or else it was just gonna get too long-winded. But yeah, I don't know. I'd really love to see, like, especially just the t-shirt thing or like the merch thing, even if given away for free at arenas. Like, I think that could be so potentially powerful. And because it has NBA in it, right? It's not like some random financial institution, you know, that you're going to have on a towel that you don't give two shits about. But like, if you got a t-shirt and it's got some cool set art and it says NBA Top Shot, like, that's going to turn some heads. People are going to be like, oh, like, what is this? Like, let me look into this a little bit more. Like, I just don't see why that hasn't happened yet.
It's exactly. I mean, yeah, it's exactly like that. Hey, King Lion, let us know your Top Shot username when you get it, chat. What you win? You want a moment? We'll send it to you. Send your Top Shot. You won tickets to a 76ers game. Wah, 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 wah. Just kidding. We don't have that power, but you did win a moment. So congratulations. Thanks for being here. It wasn't full of complaints about. Yeah, that's true. I like that too. I thought it was good, man. I thought it was good. It's like your first article. I thought it was good.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I've done
I know you've done some long
a
form
couple
content,
others, but they're like, you know, it was a little bit
I feel
different.
like this is the first one you've had in a while, though.
It's been about a year. Like, I think the last one I did was for Collective. It was like March 1st or 2nd of last year.
That was like
So-
actually your first one, right?
Yeah, that was like my first like really long, like I did like a whole history of Top Shot, and you know, from like I like interviewed OGs that were there, like from when it was like bare bones, nothing, like just the Discord, you know, the marketplace was barely existent. So that was a fun one to write and like kind of hear from people.
Yeah, that one was cool. That was I really wanted to do a video centered around that same idea, like the history of Top Shot.
There's so much more since then now, you know what I mean? Like a whole
much
other
more.
year.
And
Like,
you got to get
crazy.
like to do like the video. I like really want it to be like I want
like
to
a 30 for 30.
I want to be I want to talk to people in IRL. I want to get some IRL footage, 3-point interview set up. Like I really wanted to do some of it at like whatever. Whenever we go to a big Top Shot meetup, I think it would be sick to just have a few people talk about their experience with Top Shot and the February rush. I think you could make a mini doc on the February rush.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, you could get some really big names to be interviewed. Like, I mean, you got like Veerman, right? Like, who actually came on the show once and was giving us a little bit of insight into what it was like. And I think he explains it really well. You've got MBL, who I've also met in person. I mean, Dingling, like, believe it or not, like I've talked to him before in DMs. Like, I don't think he's doxxed now, but not like fully. Like, it was against his will to be doxxed, but like now he is. But for the longest time, people had no clue who he was, and I'm pretty sure he's living like somewhere in East Asia or something. I even doing like a Discord interview with someone like Dingling, who used to just buy up every single #1 cereal or jersey cereal. Like, hearing from someone like that who had like all this conviction, like had all this crypto money to toss around, like I think that would be really fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh, I think, yeah. And I think there's a way to do it just really fun, like cool. Make it kind of intense. Because it is interesting. It will be interesting to people who weren't even in this. You know what I mean? Like that February rush, it paints a small picture. And it's honestly, NBA Top Shot is part of the crypto bull rush or the Web3 bull rush of that time. I would say Top Shot is what sparked the entire thing. Isn't that crazy to think about?
It is. I think it's 100% Top Shot. I mean, people aren't flooding into the space without those articles coming out about, like, you know, these giant sales happening with NBA NFTs. Like, what even is that? Like, that's how all of us found out about it for the most part.
Bored Apes wouldn't be what Bored Apes are. We wouldn't have a kid who just played Dookie Dash for $1.4 million.
Crazy.
If it wasn't for Top Shot, in my opinion.
I would have crushed that game. I tried to get some people to give me. I didn't have a pass, first of all, but I tried to get some people to give me their pass so that I could play for them. But I couldn't get anyone to do it, or they were like,
I somehow doubt you would have been able to beat that kid who's like a professional Fortnite player. But
I am
crazy though is it's okay, but yeah, but professional Fortnite player, he's a 13-year-old boy. He's gonna crush you. They're just better. They're built different, dude. I know, I've heard them in the chats. It's crazy to me that Bored Apes, this is a random tangent, but it's such an interesting thing. That is the highest payout ever, especially for a single person. Nobody's ever been paid that much for winning a video game, right? Mm-hmm. So he is now the highest paid pro player of all time. And then it also wasn't even paid out by Bored Apes. It was paid out by a random person. That's crazy the way Web3 is going to work with that. That's also huge news to get gamers in, because if gamers see a way to monetize gaming in the way that makes sense to them through competition, that's actually like pretty sick.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen Dr. Disrespect. Like, I think he's either supporting some kind of project or doing his own project, NFT project. He's gotten, like, you know, I look at his replies and I see some backlash, but like he talks about how, like,
because gamers hate
this is but no, like he's like listen, this is the future. Like, imagine like paying all this money for Fortnite skins and not being able to, you know, truly own it or like sell it or like have a secondary market. Like he's saying shit like that on Twitter, and I saw it the other day. I was like, oh shit, like he's a huge streamer, like one of the most well known, you know, up there, you know.
It's never made sense.
Ninja and all them.
It's never made sense why gamers hate it so much. The problem is that too many people were scamming off the ad.
But you can get scammed today. Like, you know, people try to hack your Fortnite account. Like, you're at the games account.
I know. I'm just saying.
Like, that should happen to me.
It's just a big, massive. Like, people are so used. They just feel fine spending the money for. And I also don't think gamers really want decentralized. I think gamers want to have somebody to aim at. Top Shot's not that decentralized, you know?
No, of course. But I do think too, like, even if it wasn't completely decentralized, like if you had the ability to, you know, truly own your Fortnite skin or whatever, gun camo.
Oh yeah.
And if it was limited, like,
it makes so much more sense.
If there were ones that you could only earn by doing, you know, actual skill-based things too, like that just brings it to a whole nother level. Like, it's not something you just buy and then resell. Right. It's something you have to earn and then you could resell it. Like, I don't see why people wouldn't be on board with that. Like I've spent so much more money on Fortnite skins than, and Call of Duty shit that like I care to admit, but like, and I can't do anything with it. It's just stuck there forever, like in my account.
Oh, I totally understand. I got pretty hardcore. Well, I'm doing it with a stupid game, but I want to make content around it. But yeah, like I don't get to sell these cards, unlike Magic, where I could sell the cards I'm playing or etc. And I did the same thing with Destiny. Like I'd never bought stuff in a video game before, and then Destiny started releasing some pay to like skin stuff, and I was like, damn, I'm kind of hype about that. I kind of like I'm gonna buy some stuff. Anyways, get Win Hardcourt in the chat. Win WEN Hardcourt. Follow my man's lead, Willis. Follow Willis's lead. That'll be our last giveaway. Win Hardcourt, because I think that's why I think UFC Strike is about to change a lot for the better. And I think Win Hardcourt, I honestly believe it would be helpful. So Win Hardcourt in the chat. Then all right, what else we got? What else we're gonna wrap up this combos with before we do our last giveaway? This was a fun talk today.
Yeah, something I just saw on Twitter. First Mint did like kind of like an open forum to wanted to hear hot takes from people. Someone said gamification is the best part of Top Shot, which again is like kind of a gray area is what they're allowed to do, right? Like challenges are one thing. Momorank's play is a third party, but someone said, what about like collabing with NBA All World? And like, what if I walked down my street and was able to like find a base set moment or something like that? Like, or if you found this player, like you get their base set moment. Like, that's a great idea, honestly. And it's funny enough, when I was in Paris, I don't know if I told you this, I met the NBA All World team there. Hold on, let me show you something. They gave me this little.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a little pin.
I mean, I like Niantic. I play Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I mean, like that'd be kind of cool if like there was some kind of collab there where you pick up so and so player or unlock so and so player, and you would get them to this level, you get their base set moment, or like a way to redeem their base set moment. Because that's a thing now. Like you can redeem moments via a link now within Top Shot. Like, doesn't seem too far fetched. Cool collab to see. Both NBA IP. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there should be things like that.
Yeah, it's just probably like revenue is like how are they going to monetize it? Who gets what percentage if there is money to be made? That's where things get held up all the time. It's always about the money.
I had a couple questions here. Asked me, MTG House asked if I did the Stipe challenge. Yes, I did do the Stipe challenge twice. I thought it was a really reasonable challenge. And I really like that about it. I felt like it was completely like, I don't know, it felt good. It felt like a challenge that people coming back could have done. And so hopefully it does pretty good for anybody who did it. And then John Hickey asked, speaking of Web3 gaming, any interest in Parallel? Yeah, I think Parallel look super sick. And I have quite a few of the cards. In fact, I did just sell one for like, I don't know, $200. Because I've had them for so long, but I can't play the game. I know that the beta is coming out right now, but it's still only so many people can play it. It looks like it's going to be really cool. I talked to their team a year ago about the game, but I haven't ever gotten to play it, so I can't tell you, like, I'm interested in it, but I don't know how easy it is going to be to make a deck at this point or anything like that. But definitely something I still want to look into. If you know a lot about Parallels, always interested in hearing that. I love games, card games, boys.
Everyone's giving me shit about the Shot Talking magnets that I saw. I have stickers now too, so one of these days I will set up a
You get a magnet and a sticker.
Magnet and a sticker. So that's what you get for waiting. You get a sticker.
Guys, you got to put Win Hard, because we're going to wrap this up. You got to put Win Hardcourt. There's literally only 2 people who've done it. Joe Wolf and King Crimson. So you have to redo it, Willis, to get in this. Put Win Hardcourt in again. Quick games. Yeah, we're about to bounce. We're just starting to do the last giveaway.
I think it was good talk. I mean, it's easy to just like continue to talk about like all the negative shit happening, and I also think it's like not it's dishonest to talk about when we don't have all the facts, right? Like we could sit here and talk about that article that came out, but like we don't know any names, we don't know what's true, what's fabricated, what's been exaggerated. Again, not to take away from people who had a negative experience, or like we're in a hostile work environment, like that's horrible, right? But like again, it's as someone who's done PR communications, like written articles, like you need to do research, like, and you can't just like go off and just speculate for everything, right? Like I know we speculate on this show, but like that's kind of a sensitive subject. It's like I'm not going to speculate on like whether or not someone may or may not have been like abused verbally at their job. You know what I mean? So it's just like until like more comes out, like I feel like what we said about it is the most we can say about it until we hear more.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I agree. Other than that, yeah, I think. Oh, I'm going to show you these pics real quick.
Picks.
I'm going to show some. The D varietal. You guys want to see my? No, just kidding. No, don't. Shut off. We're gonna get kicked out of YouTube.
I keep forgetting we're on YouTube now.
I'm gonna roll this giveaway, but I did.
Oh, D Lee. I met him in Atlanta. At the Atlanta event. Yeah, awesome guy. Shout out D Lee. I wanted to say that earlier, but Seth was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt him. But yeah, he was really nice to meet, like shot talking heads. RRX69 also lives in Atlanta. I know he's not in the chat right now.
Did you not see him?
He wasn't able to make it. No, I was DMing him. He's like, I can't come. I was like, dude, like come to the game with us. Like I got D Lee tickets. I got so many people tickets.
I thought for sure you were gonna see Culbertson.
Yeah, I wanted to see him, but he wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. So,
here's what I wanted to show real quick. I just think this is awesome. This is Rob, just at the thing. Like every fight, you're not even meeting. This is like champ status people you're meeting. You're meeting. It's just crazy to me how many people they got to meet. So there's Yuri, we got Curtis Blades, and then Stipe Miocic. Like these are just like big. These are not even like light names. They're pulling out like legit meet and greets with these people, and I think that's super awesome. And I'm really jealous. So the Champs Club, I'm gonna continue to talk about it and harp on it. It's there. We don't have the program, the captain's program, but the Champs Club is super cool, and the only gated access is, like I said, is the one thing. Just get a champ, which is
what's the floor now? It used to be like 600 something.
I think it's still probably about 450. You could probably easily get one for 450, I think. Which is not
bad.
It's not crazy.
I think it's more like too like circumstantial. Like, are you able to go to like a bunch of these events? Like that's like a big deciding factor.
That is true. If you can make it to a couple events, I think it's.
Or maybe they'll start sending people to events like randomly, right? If you hold a champ moment, maybe every event they give away 4 tickets or something.
They give away a lot of tickets.
Yeah, maybe I'll buy one.
It's not even just that. Like there's tickets being given away every single fight, which is I don't know if you've seen UFC Strike tickets. They're a lot. They're a whole lot.
I haven't. I've never really.
Or not Strike tickets. I mean, fight tickets. Fights are a lot.
Me watching UFC is usually like, oh, we're at a bar, like let's watch it, or like we're like having a party on a Saturday, and it's like, oh, let's throw the game on or the fights on, like, So that's my.
I feel it. I understand. All right, guys, we're gonna roll this last one and get out of here. Thank you for being here on a Tuesday night. We should be a little bit more on schedule now. So please like and subscribe. Let's get this community back up to where it was. We appreciate you all so much, and we are always sorry for missing when we were missing, but we're getting back. We're getting the game. The game is afoot, and we know our plan. So
getting the gang back together again.
Rolling it. Karaoke Maestro. Where the hell is that even a person in here? What is how did that person win?
I don't know. I didn't see that name today.
I didn't even see somebody talk. How did Karaoke Maestro? What is wrong with Nightbot?
Nightbot just hates us.
All right, should we re-roll this? Is
Yeah,
that First of all, Karaoke Maestro is a sick name, and I am about to go to their profile and figure out who it is because pretty cool. Let's re-roll it. Karaoke Maestro. Sorry, Karaoke Maestro. DM us if you're actually a real person. Hi, son. De Leon. Delete. Hi, son.
Wait, is that D Lee? No, who is that?
No, not D Lee. Hi, son.
Oh,
Where is he?
okay. I didn't see that name either. Maybe I missed it.
He's usually in here. He has his face in an orange background. It looks like MTG Houses, but I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Boom. Hi, son. What's up, hi, son? Feel like I didn't see as much in chat today, but I appreciate.
Oh, Top Shot PH. See, that's why I don't recognize the name. Top Shot PH wins all the goddamn time, whether it's Twitch or YouTube.
Because he's always here.
Yeah, always. That's the real one right there. Shout out to you.
No, I kept it win hardcore. I didn't change the word.
All right, I've got all our winners. I'll send them out right now once we're done with the show, so don't forget.
Cool. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for being here. We love you, and we'll see you. I guess
next week.
Well, we will see you next week, but we're gonna I'll have that interview. Well, I'll have a challenge update video out, and we'll have the interview also this weekend. I don't know. Is there any extra Top Shot content that you want to make, or you have like kind of in the ideas for? Are we gonna put it?
Well, besides the team captain stuff, like we'll be doing some stuff with team captains. Next Tuesday, actually during the afternoon before the show, so around 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be joining the On the Moment team. I don't know if they've officially announced what they're doing, so I'll just leave it at that. But like, there will be a stream in the afternoon on Tuesday, and I will be a guest on it. So, if you guys want to look out for it, it'll be Top Shot related. Yeah. All right, fellas, and any ladies that might be there, Magnus will be updated too eventually. All right, bye. Okay, see ya. We like it. Bye.